Well, hi there, everyone. It's Thursday, the 15th of September. We're bang into the middle of the month already. Hard to believe, but we're just a few months away from Christmas. And let's hope that we can get some money today to buy some of those early Christmas presents. Lyall Cooper joins me, as was the case for a couple of times last week as well. Good morning to you, Lyall. How are you?
Morning, Nico. Very well. Looks like another lovely day and a card I think we can do well at. We did do well last week, but I think we've got some bankers here today.
Okay, we'll go through it. I've studied the majority of the card. I'll give you my opinions as well, and hopefully we'll touch base with and see whether those meet in between some way. The going today, by the way, is good. Penetrometer 21. There's been no rainfall at Turffontein in the last 7 days and 30 millimeters of irrigation in the last week. I don't think there are really major changes, which we'll go through during the course of the day. But let's take you through it. We'll start off in race number one. And by the way, you are working today. I'm right in saying you'll be out at Turffontein. Yes. And well done. I've got to say well done, because I know I tweeted about it during the week. But congratulations for finding Forever Mine. Because the De Kock stable, as you know, when I spoke about it, weren't awfully confident about it. Hence, it was a good price. But you were going on pure ability and again on looks. What you saw in that parade ring,
Nick, it was such a funny story because it wasn't even in my selections. And then I was walking around doing the parade ring preview, and I saw number 3. I said, "That's the pick in the parade ring." I hadn't seen number 9 yet. I think it was number 9. Yeah. And then when Forever Mine walked into the parade ring, I nearly fell over, Nico. It looked unbelievable. Yeah. And I had to tell the public it was literally dancing in the parade ring. And I haven't seen a horse look that good. I haven't seen Forever Mine look that good in my life.
Yeah, he's a very, very decent horse and loves going off to the front and dictating matters. He's just a wonderful horse. So well done. You see, a rest coming back from a rest as good as a holiday. I think he races well fresh too. So well done to Mike De Kock and his team.
Thanks. Yeah, well done to Mike.
So life post Paul Peter, if I can call it that way. Let's have a look at the 8 races. We're still recovering from that. Just a quick comment on that. I wanted to make a quick comment on that because I think there's a hell of a lot of rumors circulating, a lot of conjecture, a lot of people saying things, and I don't think it's doing racing any good, I'll be honest. Which is one of the points I plan to bring up in the meeting that I've got today. But the thing is with it, unfortunately, Lyall, the unclearer that the picture coming through from the relevant sources, the more people are going to start discussing it. So that's the issue. And I just appeal to anyone that watches this, if they can take anything out, is just clear up the issues so that people don't go off on a tangent.
Correct.
Okay. Let's start off with
left a big hole.
Yeah, it does. It does leave a massive hole. Okay, let's go to race 1. It's a maiden plate fillies and mares for the work riders. It's over 1,450 meters. And in the first race, number 4, Hertsochi, has a compression mask, blinkers, and a tongue tiger on number 8, Bad Hair Day, which you hardly ever have.
No, I have a lot.
And that's a look at the first race. But let's go to the betting. What do you like?
I quite like Hertsochi quite strongly today, to be honest. With Waking van Staden, we know that this young man's very, very talented. Ashley Fortune, that 4th behind Texas Red, I don't mind at all, was in front of number 5 on that occasion. And then next time out to that 3rd behind Luna Ballard in a decent time. The mare won from 1,600 meters upwards, so obviously the 1,450 fine. The worry, of course, is the draw. But I think with Waiton's experience, he might be able to get her over from the draw. And just I bumped into one of the owners on course, and they were very confident. So just for the punters out there, one of the owners said to me, today is the day for Hertsochi. But if Hertsochi doesn't, then I think number 5 obviously wasn't far behind Hertsochi on that penultimate race. Drawn at 8, not the best either. Number 6, Vos Har Noi, 3 kilograms better off with number 2, Batik. So I don't want to go in circles here, Nick. I think it's actually quite a tricky race if you look past the 4. So either you go 4 banker or you go 4, 5, 6, 3, and even a horse like number 9.
Yeah, I just want to quickly touch on the ride of number 3, Miss Tanga. We know that Penicilla is Paul Peters' work rider. It looks, I'm just, again, having a dart here at it. that he might be joining up with the Habib Yard or going to join them from the Paul Peter stable because it looks that way. I thought this had a chance, and I rated your head softly, but I thought that 3 and 4 would possibly fight it out. You mentioned Vos Hardenooy. That's, what is it, red-haired girl?
Red-haired girl, yes.
Red-haired girl. Vos Hardenooy, and it's also the name of a very popular Afrikaans folk song. I was talking about it actually with Fani Bronkhorst when she last ran. Okay, point being is that you like the 4. I think the 3 is a danger if it repeats its last run, even though it is up in kilos because of Kachedi's allowance. 3 and 4, maybe we could get away with there. I see, looking at the betting, that your horse is the favorite, but only margin. Okay. Okay.
For anything for me.
Okay, let's go to the second race, which is the start of the PA. It's a Pinnacle Stakes over 1,800 meters. Here you can scratch number 6, Shivers, which leaves only 5 runners, and number 2, Imperial Ruby, will race with a compression mask on. So here, despite the fact that it is a small field, the betting is pretty tight. Jamala is at 16.5 to 10. Bold Fortune going bottom weight at 5 to 2. Second base at 4 to 1, and I've omitted Out of the Darkness at 7 to 2, and you've got Imperial Ruby at 7 to 1. 5 horses here, and where is Lyle Cooper going?
Well, this is a tricky little race because the outsider, number 2, Imperial Ruby, Corne Express did say include. Yes, it's 1,800 meters, but he wouldn't be surprised if he popped up and won a race like that. So that's the outsider. I am leaning slightly towards Jamila just because of the weights of 52 kilograms. He's in fantastic form at the moment. But he's not going to have everything his own way here. I mean, you've got a horse like Bold Fortune, who's got 1.5 kilograms less than him. And this is also been running in Group 1s and Group 3s. And the form's there for you to see. And then, of course, a horse like second base as well. I mean, certainly doesn't lack talent, this one. But as far as the weights are concerned, 5 is the best weighted. So because of the weights, I'm going 4, 5, and then 1, Nico.
Okay, you haven't mentioned Out of the Darkness. I want to know why. Because of the rest?
No particular bit of a rest. I did say loves it here. Merit ratings come down 2. And simply because it's a little bit in and out, I say that with all due respect against who it's running against. I've got to take a stance somewhere. But if I take a pick 6 or no pick 6, PA, 2 of them. This is a pick 6, Nick. I'll definitely take Fields. Let me put it that way.
Yeah. So I want to quickly chip in over here. So firstly, number 6, Shivers, Lyle, is a Van Vuren horse. There's no doubt that he left this in. So the field stood up. I'm feeling that they wanted these horses to get out and make their seasonal debuts, both second base and Out of the Darkness. I haven't called Johan. He didn't have the best day on the weekend. I think not everything went to plan last weekend. But I've got a feeling that one of theirs is going to win here. And I don't know which one. I'm torn between them. They've both been rested for quite a while. Out of the Darkness is an up-and-coming horse, and second base, Lorena rides really well. So I thought it had a Johan Janse van Vuren look about it. And as you know, I said to you earlier, I will be there for this race, and I want to stay for this race. I want to watch it carefully because it'll give us some insight into maybe some of those big features coming up in October and November. So I hear what you say about Jay Marler. I'm not convinced that he could step up to this grade, even though with the lightweight. But Bold Fortune, as you mentioned, is 50.5 kilos. She's very capable on a day. I like this race. I think it's a place to put money. I think there's some nice value to be had over there. Okay, as we move on to the third race, start of the pick 6. It's a maiden over 1450. Here you can scratch number 12, Raven Black, which is a very important scratching because it had a good debut run. 3, Skyrunner, Alamites front line shot behind. 7, Harcourt, no blinkers on this one in the third. We'll look at the support here for this newcomer, number 8, Iron Sky. And I've got the feeling here that Stuart Pettigrew is planning. I wonder whether he'll be there today. I've got a sneaky little suspicion because it's at Turffontein. If it was at the Vaal, I'd say no chance. If it was at the Vaal, I'd say no chance whatsoever. But because it's at Turffontein today, this man might well be there. And I think, Pete, you should look out for that and tell the people.
I will.
But what about no, I don't think he dares is that smart. He just appears like the Scarlet Pimpernel. 8, Iron Sky, 4-1 to 16-10. Have you heard something here about this one?
I've heard absolutely nothing. So what I will do for the punters when I'm on course is try and find out before the race. But I've heard absolutely nothing, Nico. Not a word.
No comment given in the computer form, but it looks like it's that typical Stuart Pettigrew runner, first timer, stables on it. Maybe this is the right horse here. Outside of those, the ones that have run, what do you think of the ones that have run?
I like the 10, Nico, the son of Jackson, for Johan, with Keegan aboard. Not a bad debut, 14.50 now. The mare won up to 14.50. And with that draw there, I think this is going to improve. That's actually my first selection, the 10 Pragmatist. And then number 1, I thought was the value. Phantom of the Forest for Joey Soma, back from an 89-day rest. And those form lines aren't bad. They've produced about 7 winners from them. Blinkers go on, I see. And although it's a horrible draw with the blinkers on, I thought that in a race with not too much strength, that the one could be a player, as could number 6, Burgess. So 10, 8, 1, 6 for me, Nico.
Yeah, those are the numbers. Have to be the numbers for me too. Very nice comments on Pragmatist there. Again, he's Johan Janssen van Vuren stable. If they do win that earlier race, I'll be having a good look at this to give Pettigrew's one to go on with in the third race, Pragmatist. But I've got to say to you that I think you've read it particularly well for them, because Soma's horse Phantom of the Forest very quickly. I mean, Joey had that first timer that was unfancied according to the betting. I don't know whether Joey likes it, but it's testament to Joey Soma's ability to train, because there's a horse unfancied in the market. There was a hottie in the race and didn't come close to him. So I think that's got to have a chance with those blinkers on. But I'm all about Iron Sky if it's the Pettigrew money. But if there is a horse to topple it, I think it could well be Pragmatist. I see it very much.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to race 4. Race 4 is a middle stakes over 2,600 meters. And here you can scratch numbers 2, A Fraud. It's a late scratching, which we mentioned here. And number 6, Kind Judy, is also scratched. Number 3, Flying First Class, has a compression mask, and blinkers go on. Number 7, Flag Bearer. I think we have to bear that in mind as well, because that wasn't in the book, that Flag Bearer now has the blinkers on. Here's the betting, Lyall. It's 5-2, the joint favourites, White Fang and Flying First Class. They seem to want to run against each other every day. 7-2, Arlington Action. 4-1, Royal Mazarin. And 5-1, Kind Judy and Flag Bearer. They're really, the bookmakers haven't given the punters much of a chance, haven't they?
No, they haven't. Well, Kind Judy's out, which makes it just a little bit easier. Because I actually think the betting's right here. I think it's a match race between the 3 and the 1. And I'm going to go with the 3 over the 1. Number 4, Arlington Action, is held by number 3, not once but twice. And the fact that Arlington Action beat Flag Bearer suggests to me that the strength of the race lies with number 3, Flying First Class, who's so consistent. Merit rating is still okay for me. Course and distance, have a look at that. To beat number 1, White Fang. And Adam, as he did say, competitive sort will be there and thereabouts, and is 2 kilograms better off with Flying Class for 1 3/4 length. So for me, straight match race, Nico, 3 from 1. End of story.
Let's just talk about the money for Soma. We mentioned Joey Soma in the previous race. I want to talk about Royal Mazarin, who changed yards from Tony Nassif at the end of July to Joey. Opened up 8-1. There's obviously been a market move on this one, as well as the scratching of Kind Judy has brought it in. But what do you make of the money for Royal Mazarin, who has got some collateral form with Arlington Action and with Rulebook earlier on?
Yeah, it certainly could be there and thereabouts. It's a very small race, this one, but just on their course form, number 3 and number 1 for me will beat number 5, Royal Mazarin. I like the weight to 54 and the fact that the tongue tie goes on and the way that Keegan's running. But I'd certainly put it in if I went wider, but I'm just going to stick with my 2, Nico.
Okay, so you're going 1 and 3, not necessarily in any order. You'd say if you took boxed exactas, you'd be okay.
I like number 3, Nico. Quite strongly.
Oh, you do like number 3. Okay, because I'm in the other one's camp. This could be a coffee.
Yes.
I like the other one. I like White Fang, and I'll tell you why. I'll just back it up, because I like backing it up, but not just giving us thumbsuck reasoning. The last time out that they ran together, I don't believe White Fang went as hard as he could have. He likes to run up front, Lyall. and he likes to go hard. Now, he sat and took a bit of a hold, did Kamado last time out. I think the question mark is, does he go off and lead? Because he's better when he leads. And he wasn't leading. And I called that race. He let those horses come right alongside him and go past him, actually. And I think by going up to the front, things may be different. But I do agree with you. I believe it's between those two. I've got respect for Royal Mazarin's betting because they don't back horses out of that yard for nothing. So I think that would be the danger. Okay, that's race 4. That's our coffee today. That's our coffee today on those two. Okay, race 5 comes up at 3 p.m. It's a Fillies and Mares 62 divided handicap. It's over 1450. And in race 5, number 9, Java House, no blinkers, and has a compression mask on. Those are the changes in the 5th race, no scratchings. Okay, the favorite here is the Aussie inmate Cold Hard Stare, who won a good race on debut in a much weaker field, it has to be added. This was from 16 to 10, just a little bit of a drift up to 16.5 to 10. And then it's basically United Express at 5 to 1 and 7 to 1 bar the top 2. Do you make this the one to beat?
No, Nico. She certainly has a chance, but I'm going to go with United Express at 5 to 1 with Randall aboard, drawn 3, Roy Magna. Those last 2 runs were against Stronger. Yes, she has to carry 60 kilograms, but I also think she might just handle this 1450. So she'll be my first selection, what I think is an open race from Cold Hard Stare. I also think Outlaw could be a bit of a player after that maiden win there. The mare did win up to 2,000 meters. So, as you see, as soon as the daughter of Jackson stepped up and tripped, she's really improved. And then a horse like number 2, Silvery Blue, will be my value bet at 10 to 1. In fact, I know it's drawn 10, but if I had to take a value bet, I'd probably go each way number 2, Silvery Blue, to be honest.
Right, now here's where we disagree in this race. Obviously, the common horse would be Cold Hard Stare because we're not too sure of it. Now, I don't know if you can pick out what I've written here, but you're not going to really make head or tail of it. I just want to show people.
No, it's just numbers.
Yeah, I just want to show people, because this is how I work. I don't know how you operate, but I just want to show people a little bit more about it.
That's a lot of writing there. Not as much as mine, but it's quite a lot.
So all that means, all that hieroglyphics means, is that I've done a lot of homework on this race. Now,
yes, okay, good.
I've come up with the following in this race. And that's why I think, being a Fillies and Mares 62 divided handicap, it is open. And therefore, I think you have to look a lot more careful. I like a couple of horses at big prices here. I like 8 Mix the Magic, okay, with Craig Zaki on board. Last 3 runs, not well drawn, all 3. Not particularly well drawn today, but maybe just a little bit better. It's at 12 to 1. The other one I thought had a chance was the Jockey Strike of Dancing Dora, because young Sasibo rode it last time out, and it's a huge step up from Sasibo to Yeni. And it also comes out well in those calculations that you might have just seen. I'm not saying the ones that you've mentioned can't win. What I am saying is I'd like to add in those 2 and specifically mention both of them, because I think that they need to go in. Cold Hard Stare could be absolutely anything, but I sense that you and I are trying to beat this favorite.
I am, Nico. And just Dancing Dora, my notes here. Can you show them my book, Nico?
Yes.
Can you see my book?
Yes.
I go mad, and I go.
Oh yes, I can see all the colours on it. Yeah, you got colours.
So yellow is good and pink's bad. And Dancing Dora up 1450. Merit ratings down to, and I wrote you a place chance in my little arithmetics. The Golden Aspen form line has Dancing Dora held by United Express.
Yeah.
And then over the page with your number 8, yes, I wrote there some really good efforts and has to be included, is what I wrote.
Yeah. And that, for me, could be the value bet of the day. Look, if Neil Andrews is wanting a price booster, maybe that would be my idea for one today at 12 to 1. Okay, race 6, this one is open. The 6th race is at 1535. It's a Fillies and Mares 76 divided handicap over 1450. Here, number 6, Scotta D2 has a compression mask on. I'm actually going to update the changes to see whether there are any further changes that are filtered through, and if there are, I'll mention it too. But Captain Peg here is all the rage. Again, this is the second pedigree horse with lots of support for it. 9 to 10 to 7 0.7 to 10, and sure to tumble even further in the market, I presume. They're betting 6 to 1 bar, that one, Red Carpet Girl 6 to 1, and then a few of them at 7 to 1. Now, tell me about Captain Peg and your thoughts.
Well, I've spoken to one of the owners, and they're confident of a big run here. Captain Peg, for me, is one of the bankers on the card. Diego Forci pedigree has gone up 6 points, but the draw 4, and as you said, improving. Loved the 1450 last time, and I think plenty more to come. And I certainly would like to just mention number 3, Special Variety, because Special Variety does hold number 4, Princess Philippa and Red Carpet Girl. So there's the value horse right there. And if there was going to be an upset, so to speak, and I'm actually quite surprised to see 7 to 1. I think that's a very good price, Nico. Number 3, Special Variety.
Okay, yeah. So just a little bit about Captain Peg. She is owned by a few people that I know quite well. They are nice punters. They are victims, if we call them that, because they love punting on a daily basis. Justice Mshwana, who is so passionate about his racing. Billy Yip, who hails from Hong Kong. Craig Chetty and Logan Chetty. We know Logan extremely well. Paul Marks, you'll know from golfing days. Of course. Well, he's now playing on the seniors tour, isn't he, Paul Marks?
You know, just a quick story. Can I tell you a quick story about Paul? He's always been a fairly good golfer, I mean, at a professional level. And I mean, the last 5 years, this Paul Marks has just taken off.
Really?
I mean, he's playing against the likes of David Frost and Mark McNulty, and he's competing with them, which is absolutely phenomenal.
Superb. Absolutely,
I'm so proud of him.
Yeah, and I know he's the pro, the resident pro at Blair Athol, and I think that's where the Open, isn't that where the SA Open's being played this year? I think for some reason,
it might be it.
I think it is being played there.
Could be.
So it's such a nice group of guys. I know them quite well. I know they beat our Ben Mag horse Ready to Fly on debut. So it's good news for us that she does well because we do well. But I do know someone told me, and I don't think it was one of the owners, but someone said to me that she might have a tilt at the Group 1 Cape Fillies Guineas at the beginning of December. Now, if that's to be the case, this is a Fillies and Mares 76 divided handicap at Turffontein over 1450. If she has those aspirations, then she'll dawdle up here. She should win this. Dangers, 2 of them. Special Variety, yes, 100%. Yes. The other one, Mama Quera. The other one is Mama Quera. From an 8 draw, not drawn well, change of rider may do it good. Maybe Matsunyani, who's riding well, can get that one closer to the favorite. But I think the favorite there is going to be all the rage. Okay, now races 7 and 8 is purely your idea of having fun because I'm not going to intervene at all. Race 7, 10 past 4 is a Fillies and Mares 95 divided handicap. It's over 1,450 meters. Here you can scratch number 2, definitely, maybe. And number 8, Golden Aspen, has a compression mask. I'll just quickly look at the bet here. It's 3 to 1 the field. Lucy in the Sky is 3 to 1. Peyton's Tears is the money horse from 6 to 1 into 33 to 10. Then you've got What a Honey at 4 to 1, and then Money for Rosa Prima, who's shortened into 11 to 2. So quite a bit going on here in the market. What did you feel?
Yeah, open race this one, Nico. I'm leaning towards Peyton's Tears. It was 5 to 1 yesterday, so I see the money coming, people thinking like me. Samango Kamalo for Lucky Udalakis, the merit rating, down to 83. Drawn 5. Let's get the negative out of the way. Hasn't won for 511 days. But I thought today could just be her day. If you go back 4 runs, she was a length behind Crimson's Princess, and she is 3.5 kilograms better off. I think today could be the day for her, but it's competitive. Number 7, Rosa Prima. Sianda Sosibo for Diane Stenger. On that penultimate, Nico, she was 2 lengths behind number 5, my horse, Peyton's Tears, and she's 2.5 kilograms better off. So if I like my 5, I have to like number 7. I think we could get a decent enough price there, not really. And then horses like number 4, Crimson Princess, number 6, What a Honey, and number 1, Lucy in the Sky, who this time of year is deadly, Lucy in the Sky, even though she's got top weight. But she really is held here on a few runs. Crimson Princess holds her, What a Honey holds her. So hence 5, 7, 4, 6 for me in that order.
Okay, yeah, quite a bit going on there. There's a very competitive Fillies and Mares 95 handicap. As I say, I don't have an opinion on it because I haven't looked at it carefully enough. But we're going with 5, 7, 4, and 6. So 4, 5, 6, and 7. The winner to come from one of those. You may want to play flat in your perms there. 4, 5, 6, and 7. That's where Lyall believes the winner you can find it from. Okay, the last of the day runs at 4:45. It's a classified stakes over a mile. Here there are 2 scratchings now. Number 3, Angel C, and number 4, Quest from Afar, I see, has been taken out as a foot abscess. So that was, again, a late scratching. Also in the 8th race, number 9, Little Miss Sunshine, races with a tongue tie fitted. So obviously all these changes are betting moves because of the scratchings, Angel C and Quest from Afar coming out. Talk to us about your principles, because here you've now got 11 runners and it looks like another open contest, doesn't it?
Did you just say that Quest from Afar is scratched, Nico?
Yeah, it is scratched.
Okay.
Foot abscess.
Yes. Okay. Again, I think the betting's fairly correct because it is this type of race. Number 12, Fantasy Flower. That's my selection from that draw of 2 with Muzi aboard, nicely weighted, being a mare. She tries the course for the very first time, but this merit rating at 58 now, surely it's time to strike. And it does look like she's been better without blinkers. So I think she could be a big player here. Number 6, West Point, Ryan Munger for Ashley Fortune. Not as well drawn, but it is 1,600 meters. Don't mind those last 2 efforts. Merit rating's also attractive. And then number 4, obviously scratched now. I want to mention number 1 as well, which is Ridge to Reef. Ashley Fortune for Smunger Kamalo. Although he's got 60 kilograms and not particularly well in here, I think that he could be quite dangerous here with those blinkers back on. So although I say it's very open, I thought those ones 12, 6, 4, 1. And then my value, if you're looking for a value in the last race, don't leave out number 7, Stolen Thunder. James Crawford did say, nice weight here, 56, and big chance on the day from a draw of 3. So just include number 7.
Okay, now we know that classified stakes over a mile, fillies have a weight advantage. And for that reason, I think I'm going to side with you in going for Fantasy Flower, because I called her last time out up the Vaal straight. And strangely enough, I thought to myself, this horse is traveling so well today. And she stayed on at the business end, and that's up the long Vaal straight. I think she'll like it out here. You mentioned the fact that she's never been to the inside track at Turffontein, and that may well just click for her. Now, she hasn't won in the last couple, but she's a horse that you have to keep on your radar. I think from a 2-draw with the Annie, this is crying out as being the likely winner in this race because of that weight. 52 is nothing. Yes. And I'm agreeing with you there. I haven't studied it, but I think I'm going with you with number 12, Fantasy Flower, in the last of the day. Well, that will take care of matters there. I don't think there are any further changes. So that's our take on today's Turffontein card. It's on the inside track because if you don't know already, the outside track is being ripped up basically and is being prepared for the feature season at the Vaal. The classic track has also been commissioned to go out of action for a bit, and the drainage is going to be fixed. And then if you go to the main Vaal track, that's also now being closed. So we really only have the inside track at Turffontein, hence the limited amount of meetings to make sure that these tracks are ready for that rain coming. And when that rain comes, hopefully we can get them rolling during the next month, in the month of October. But Lyall, thanks so much for your input. Really value your time. And just for Clocking the Gallop viewers, we had a long discussion about Clocking the Gallop and where we're going and where we're headed. We can tell you that that big meeting at the beginning of October is the next meeting that we're planning a subscription-based tipping service for. And we're happy to report that Lyall Cooper will hopefully be joining us on that too. So more about that in the coming weeks here on Clocking the Gallop. And you can get our full assessment as a team for that weekend at the end of September, beginning of October. Thanks again, Lyall. Catch you up at the track, and may it all go well for you as it did last weekend.
See you there. Thank you, Nico.
Bye-bye.